Hi gang, this is Mike G from Mr. GTV and MrMikeGarner.com. This is my point of view, literally looking through the front windscreen of my car as I drive round the streets of Hua Hin in Thailand. There's lots going on in the world at the moment, but I want to talk about personal relationships in respect of what's going on. Because everything is a relationship, everything is a connection, and everything is mental. So everything is a relationship means this, that you have a relationship with yourself, everybody that you connect with, and everybody that you've ever connected with or will connect with. In other words, you're always talking to yourself. So I would encourage everybody to make that the best relationship that you've got, that you love yourself, you like yourself. And if you don't love yourself and like yourself at the moment, then we need a chat. I'm here for that. But come to terms with yourself, forgive yourself, accept yourself, and make a decision for yourself that you're going to shift from feeling shit about yourself to feeling good about yourself. Because if you don't like yourself, you won't like anything in your life. You can't like anything if you don't like yourself. You can't love anybody if you don't love yourself. You can't give away anything that you don't have in your own heart or mind. So improve that relationship. And in my opinion also, to take this another step, you've had many lives and you're going to have future lives. Whether you believe that or not, that's another discussion. But come to terms with your evolution. And even through this life, you've had many lives. I've had a life employed by somebody else, and now I'm self-employed. I've had a life married to somebody else, previous marriage. I've had previous friends. I've had relationships with other people that I've not got now. Things come and go. I've had events in my life that have been important, and now they're insignificant, and new things are important. So you're always evolving. These relationships are changing. The status that you are in these relationships are changing. Take, for example, where you are in your family. At one time, you were the baby. Then you were the toddler. Then you were the teenager. Then you were the youth. And now, wherever you are in your life, I'm now a granddad. Granddad, from my life story, was, well, in my family, was my father, who was granddad to Catherine and Stephen. So if I'm half as good as he was, I'll be extremely proud of myself, because he was brilliant. And he also was a brilliant dad to me. So I'm a dad. And again, using him as a role model. Now, whoever you use as a role model, you've gone through certain titles. I was an apprentice. Then when I became fully skilled, I had an apprentice. I was a student, and now I'm fully skilled. I had students. So you understand relationships and how things evolve. And this is life, and you've got to get your head around the fact that things change and that you evolve, and they evolve in a direction that you dictate. But you've got a relationship with other people as well. And that's one that you've got to guard very closely. You've got to, in my opinion, get round your people who are like-minded. There's this wonderful expression that birds of a feather flock together. And what that means is that you'll tend to attract people that are the same as you. That people will like you because they are like you. Now look at your friends. Quite a lot of people think that, oh, well, I'm not like them. Well, yes, you are, and they're like you. You tend to Bluetooth off each other energetically, psychically, emotionally, physically. Excuse me. That what you tend to do is you tend to entrain and pair. That if you're up and they're down, you'll balance in the middle. If they're up and you're down, you'll balance in the middle. If they're negative and you're positive, they'll take away your positivity, and their negativity will be contagious. So you're going to be very careful who you vibe with. make sure that you like the vibe of your tribe, and choose your tribe understanding that that affects your vibe. And I'll just say something now, because I had a very good conversation with a family member, and both of my children are in business, self-employed, and deal with the public, and I think they do a handsome job. I deal with the public as well, and again, I think I do rather well. But what we've got to understand when you deal with the public is that the public are not your tribe, and you're going to meet people in your outer circle who maybe you see on a regular basis, but they're still not your tribe. And then you're going to see and meet people and engage with people and vibrate amongst, and that's a great word, vibrating amongst people who, in my opinion, now what's happening here, this is interesting. There's a spot check here. There's a spot check. Now this is interesting. So I'm stopping now in a foreign country, in a foreign language, and they're doing safety checks or drug checks or gun checks or drug checks, visa checks possibly. A whole range of things could be going on here. I'm not sure, but anyway, I'm filming this. This is what it's like when you live in a foreign country. I find these situations quite interesting, actually. Just listen to how I deal with this. Sorry crap. Thank you. Thank you. So there you go, window down, they can see my face. I give them the old Jedi the old Jedi mind wave. Nothing to see here. And I get wave through. That's what happens. That's interesting, isn't it? So this is my point of view, literally. So you've got friends who you don't vibe with, and you've got people that you don't vibe with, but you will meet them, and in those short interactions there will be an exchange of energy. So you need to bubble up, you need to protect yourself when you're amongst people that aren't on the same wavelength as you, that don't have the same mindset as you. Because if you listen to them and you engage with them, you can respect them and love them, but you don't want to absorb anything from them. You can radiate respect and love, and hopefully you'll get love and respect back by the law of reciprocity, which actually is the psychologist's name for the law of sowing and reaping, which is what you give, you get back. But ultimately, protect yourself from those that you don't know, and those that you do know, still protect yourself, but you can be more open with them. Those people that you do know, and this is what's come out of a conversation that I've had recently, and it's also my own experience, that quite often you can be took by surprise when somebody that you've allowed into your inner circle, that you think you vibe with, all of a sudden seems to take a U-turn in their personality. They'll do something, say something, and become something that doesn't resonate. Resonance is a harmonic. So they break the harmony, they change the vibe, and therefore you've got a decision: do they stay in your tribe? For me, I give them 3 chances. I point out how I feel about their behaviour or what they've done or how they are. I don't make them wrong, because that's who they are, but I tell them how I feel about it, and then they've got a choice to change. I would prefer that they change for me, not because of me. I'll say that again. I would prefer that they change for me and not because of me. In other words, that they see that they've done something which breaks the rapport between us, and they want to build that rapport and they respect me and love me and want to get the friendship back on an even keel. Maybe they realise that they were out of order, or that they did something, said something, became something that wasn't worthy of them, and then they step up and improve their game. I'll do that twice. Third time, I stop showing up. And I would actually expect people to do that with me, because I get it wrong. Tell me how you feel about what I've said. Tell me how you feel about what I've done. I am who I am, and in that moment, me personally, I did that out of love and positivity, and I possibly considered it was constructive, even though anybody on the receiving end might not have seen it in that way. That often happens. We've all got different points of view. We've all got a different subjective opinion on something. But if you let me know, then I can do something about it, or not. And if you don't like me, and you've told me how you feel, and I don't change, then say goodbye to me. But do this with everybody. Have some integrity, some dignity. Value yourself, respect yourself enough. Don't let somebody pull you down, tear you down, put you down, kill your self-esteem. Show some integrity. Step up. Say what you mean what you say. Don't make them wrong. Just tell them how you feel. There's got to be consequences. And then you've got a relationship, in my opinion, not just with yourself and with your inner or outer circle, but you've got a relationship with all your activities. Tonight, as I'm driving now, and this is my point of view, you've seen me driving through the back streets, heading more into town now. You've seen me go through the police check. I'm going to my chess club tonight, which actually is becoming a bit of a guitar club, because we all play guitar. There's one of us who's learning, and I'm still learning, even though I've played for a long time. And there's a guy that actually is a music teacher from Switzerland, lovely fella, and we can learn, we can learn from him, you know. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're all in it together. We're all friends. We're all vibing. It's all good. It's all positive. It's all fun. If that group became different, then however much I wanted to be part of that group, I wouldn't allow my vibe to be contaminated. And if I had a friend that all of a sudden had their 3 warnings and didn't shift and didn't show respect and didn't raise their vibration, then I'd walk away, as I said before. But I'd leave the door open, but they'd have to come back to me with a different energy. They'd have to come back. I don't look for an apology, but I'd look for a shift, and trust me, I'd feel it, and trust me, you'd feel it as well. You know people who apologise and they don't mean it, and you know they're going to do it again. You also know people who are insincere in their apologies, and you know people who just aren't sorry because that's the way they are, because they like that with everybody. But you probably also know people that that's a good hole in the road. You probably also know people that they don't get on with you, and when you ask everybody else, they find them all right. You'll never work it out, because your experience is unique and you're creating everything. You've got to take responsibility for everything, because it's all about you. And the message here, and this is my point of view, that it's all about you, is that all you can do is do the best that you can do, and have your own standards, and don't let anybody compromise that. I'll say that again. Have your own standards, and don't let anybody compromise that. Don't be in need of a relationship, a person, an activity, a group of people, a job, a marriage, or any sort of contractual, emotional or physical relationship, or mental relationship, where you're getting a raw deal. Your peace of mind is the most precious thing that you've got to protect, and your energy levels come from your peace of mind. Everything is mental. All relationships are mental, which means all relationships are a meeting of minds. And as I said before, when you co-join with other people, when you meet and commune with other people, there's a community which creates a unity, and you're affected by their vibe and they're affected by your vibe. And if these people in your tribe aren't at your level, then ask yourself, what's the value of being there? Obviously you can maybe support people, but not to your detriment. Not if you're being put down, pulled down, or talked down to, disrespected. So be powerful, guys, and maintain your power. Be peaceful, guys, and maintain your peace of mind. Be loving and maintain that loving, powerful heart, because everything is love, everything is mental, everything is vibration, and no one person or group of people, no activity, no job is worth your peace of mind. And without peace of mind, you won't have health and energy. If you're not easy mentally with somebody or something, that lack of ease creates dis-ease, which creates mental, emotional, and ultimately physical sickness. You can actually make yourself sick to death, and we use that expression, don't we? You know, I'm sick to death of this person, I'm sick to death of this situation, I'm sick to death of this marriage, this job, this house, this town. Don't let it be the death of you. Leave or shift. Take the importance of it and put the importance on you before it kills you. Because sure enough, if it doesn't actually physically kill you, the stress and tension will shorten your life, and you won't be available for the miracles that this life should be offering you. Life is wonderful. It's a classroom where you learn this stuff, but it's also a playground. And if you're not enjoying your life, look in the mirror. Is it you or is it everybody else? And there's only you can do something about it. So step into your power, do something about it, enjoy your mind and be powerful. This is my point of view. I'd love to hear your comments in the comments box below. If this applies to somebody that you know and not you, share it. Share because you care. Be powerful. God bless.